And then they came for Chris Claremont, of all people. Yes, the woke mob on Twitter is trying to destroy the guy who really was the founder of the X-Men. And if you look at the original Claremont X-Men, his whole deal was making a little diversity team. It's kind of stupid that these people are doing this, but you're never woke enough for the Inquisition. That's what we're finding out today. And we'll get into the nitty-gritty details of it in just a second. Hilarious stuff on Twitter right now. My name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator, and of course, I present the alternative to mainstream comics. This is Overmind right here, my pre-order store. Even though it shows what's raised on Kickstarter, actually, we've done a couple grand in sales on this backer kit page, which is the post-Kickstarter pre-order, as I'm getting everything ready for print and getting everything ready to get into your hands to be able to read. So we're over $36,000 total. I want to get this to 40K before we can close this out. I would love to have a 40K campaign. I've never had anything like that before. So check that out in the description below. If you love the old school comics, the 70s and 80s, I guarantee this is the place for you. That is my vibe, and I'm trying to bring it back to fun. There's a science fiction story. Check it out. That link's in the description below. All right, here we are. Chris Claremont did a panel at C2E2 yesterday, which is a convention in Chicago. And Comics XF reported on it. I've been trying to find the video of the actual convention all morning. I know they film these things, but nobody's actually got it. So all we have is basically his reporting on what Chris Claremont said. And that's enough to set Comics Twitter going, "Wah!" because Comics Twitter is that stupid. So that's where we're at today. We get into it. It starts out with some innocuous stuff, and what happens is he's going off. He's mad that Chris Claremont's late. So you could tell that he's going to not be nice to Claremont just based on the fact that he's upset about the panel not going the way he wanted. And he starts making these comments, which everybody then takes Chris Claremont's card sort of like dry humor. And if you've ever watched interviews with Chris Claremont before, you know he doesn't really take these things all that seriously. He is definitely a dork. No offense, Chris. Who's like very into the details of his little world and all that with the X-Men. But he also likes to make jokes about these things and doesn't take it too seriously as a normal person would. So he gets into a couple things about X-Men and how he outsold Thor 3-1 back in the day, which upset people because people these days, I noticed this, like I was looking at a Twitter the other day based on a tennis match I was at, and I saw somebody, the loser, posting about her mental health and all that. You know, it's like, okay. And somebody went on her Twitter and said, "You were both the winners today." It's like, no, she was literally the loser. You were not both the winners. And this is kind of like the mentality, I guess, of the Zoomer generation, where it's like, you can't talk about how great your sales are. We have great sales of our comics right now. It's awesome. Because that's bragging. You shouldn't make yourself better than anybody else. I don't know, like exceptionalism and good things used to be like what people strove for. When you get good sales, that is something to be happy about and positive. It's just like, it's idiotic. But people are pissed about that comment, and it starts getting crazier from there. So Claremont said he doesn't like the current direction of X-Men, also stating that like this Krakoa nonsense is going to be gone in like 5 years and nobody will remember it, which is also true. They're going to reset everything because this is a nightmare. He throws a little shade at John Byrne, calling him the Canadian, which of course that's okay. Nobody's bothered by that because John Byrne's white, and that's okay to throw shade at white people. But it gets into stuff that is unforgivable. And so he made a New Orleans sort of Southern drawl accent, which makes sense because this guy, wrote Gambit for a lot of years, and people started calling that racist. Of course, that's how it goes. And he goes further and now starts saying he can get away with being another white guy playing fast and loose with racial identity because I'm British and have been doing this for 1,000 years. And then he made a joke saying he would turn Kitty Pryde into the cosmic daughter of T'Challa and Storm, thanks to the Panther God. So yes, he would turn Kitty Pryde black. Now, the way that Comics SF reports this is that it's like super serious. That like he would dare culturally appropriate the beautiful Wakanda nation like that. And that's where people start to get really mad and say Claremont's unhinged and losing his mind and all that. It's a joke, you idiots. That's all. And of course, now he's reporting on the Cajun accent and all that. And it's like, come on, guys. So on top of that, he committed the crime of making fun of the Eternals, saying it was a terrible movie, which everybody agrees it was. Again, this is not controversial. It was not a good movie. But because they had the first gay kiss in Marvel, you're not allowed to talk about that like that. So that's how that goes. Then he makes fun of Thor: Love and Thunder, which is even better, and starts using pronouns as a joke with that whole deal, and that's unforgivable. Oh my gosh! Again, a movie nobody likes because it is a joke that they made a Jane Foster Thor movie. Thor is a man, a god of thunder, the son of Odin, and it's not anything that makes any sense to do a movie like that, but whatever. Okay. But where it goes, and the reason that this took off like this, and the reason that it's going viral on the internet is what's important. And now I can't even find this stupid tweet because it just reloaded. That's awesome. But it came from Comics Perch. Perch. It came from Comic Tropes. Now, there it is. Comic Tropes made this go viral by talking about it right here, saying, Chris Claremont's appearance seemed to be going poorly. If the reports are accurate, he's saying some pretty inflammatory things. And that's what got the internet going, because the YouTubers really are what dictates the conversation on this stuff. Nobody really cares what an old comic book writer says. No offense, Chris Claremont. Typically. But Comic Tropes blowing this up is what got this going and what got this trending. Now, Comics Tropes has a history of attacking Comicsgate. And he's gone after CG before. Of course, trying to get them canceled from Dynamite. There was a period where Dynamite was doing variant covers with Comicsgate creators. And of course, Comics Tropes and the angry SJW Twitter mob went and got that canceled. And Dynamite caved to their whole demands on Twitter stupidly. I mean, these people don't care about Dynamite, let's be honest. It got into it with John Malin, another wonderful comic creator, and then kept calling CG racist and harasser, the usual drivel. Comic Tropes also wades into politics. He was retweeting a lot of anti-Donald Trump stuff in 2020 on the lead up to the election. So this guy's not just a guy who's a nice comics historian. No, he's a total soy boy SJW loser who wants to destroy everything good in comics and wants to push Marvel and DC even further into the realm of woke identity politics. That's who he is. It's disgusting. So that's why this happened. This whole speculative cancel mob started because of Comics Tropes, and he should apologize to Chris Claremont. It's very bizarre to me because Chris Claremont's a left-wing guy. Doesn't make any sense that they'd be doing this to him. He's just an old dude who has a sense of humor, and that's not allowed in 2022. What do you guys think about this? Hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. And of course, don't forget to back the alternative to woke comics, Overmind. It's only going to be up for a limited time, guys. Don't miss it. We'll see you soon.